That's what they asked.
I don't want to make that mistake. Could be another alien my whole lifetime. Just imagine that the way I'm talking right now, out of character, is the way I'm talking in character as well. This is a stupid scenario you placed me in, innkeeper.
Well, it's not Luke. If you're going to the Luke Davenport says innkeeper here, but actually it's the owner of the Gateway, which is an ale house. He recognizes you.
So I mean, technically, I'm not wrong though. I would say that to the innkeeper.
Yeah, it's a slightly older young gentleman. It's like, oh, my cigar. You want your rooms back, sir?
Oh yes, I've rented them. They are my rooms.
Right, come this way. And he's like, he doesn't know what to do because those rooms have been empty. But basically, well, they did rent them out because he didn't show up. But now he's forced to to make some arrangements because it's like, and he's moving people around, and it's like, but this is my room. Like, yes, just
in the background. The look in Gar's face would have to be one of sheer pleasure, as this would be the entire reason why he would have rented these rooms, just so he could witness people being evicted from them.
They do give them other rooms, but people are like, because you can arrive kind of late at night, and it's like, some people are drunk, some people are sleepy, and it's like, yes, whatever. It's like, you get free breakfast, just move. Right.
Marcus would have stayed downstairs at the bar.
No, this is just an inn. This is just a plain old inn. It doesn't have a bar. Just
the place that Luke runs is different from the place that I rented all these rooms from.
Yeah.
In that case, he would have gone to the closest location to this with a bar.
Oh, that would be what they call it. Oh my god, now I blanked out.
The giant one.
No, the gateway. The gateway.
Yeah, I would have gone to the gateway.
The giant is in Greyhawk.
Was it in Greyhawk or was that in Safeton?
Greyhawk.
The sleeping giant is in Greyhawk.
Yeah.
The one with the ogre. Yeah.
Yeah, the ogre.
The one with the giant.
The giant is Greyhawk. I don't really know any of the locations here, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, those
many of them.
So, you walk in and it's a fairly, I mean, it's winter, so it's jam-packed because people are, escaping the cold. It hasn't snowed yet. It won't snow for a while, but it is getting cold nonetheless. Cold chill. It's like, you hear from it's like, close the door, mate.
Not a problem. Mei Chan closes the door.
What kind of day are you, sir?
I suppose I can have myself a bit of an ale. What's your selections? What's the price range?
One ale coming up, sir.
Perfect.
As in, the selection is of one the house ale, and they put us like, I'll be 2 coppers, sir.
All right, not a problem. And I'll slide a gold and get my change.
And he gives you proper change. And he's always like, Jim. And this young man, known to the audience, is also like, yes, sir. And he gives him a change, and then James accepts.
I'll put 2 copper in his hand as well.
Thank you, sir.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Either way, what's the happenings around a location so quaint and small like this?
Jim, Luke, the older, the man behind the bar, is like, he looks at you like, are you shitting me with that type of talk?
It also doesn't match my appearance either, because I haven't gotten new clothes since I've lived in the jungle for 5 years.
Hicks honestly probably has given you at least a shirt and trousers that are new-ish.
Okay, if that's the case, he's wearing those. Yes, no, I'm more concerned about what's going on in the area. I've been away for some time, and we are headed up to Greyhawk, but I am just more checking in, and as far as I understand, with demographics, this would be a smaller location. I did not mean to insult by any means, I'm more just asked.
When you say demographics, that's one word that's a bit too long for his mind. It's like heard about what the hell they're talking about. Like, well, news. There's a new baron to the south. Baron Kicks, friend of, well, acquaintance of mine.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't presume to call
that's
him
who I am. That's indeed who I am passing through with. I believe they were staying down the street, but
Oh.
I have given up on sleeping a long time ago. So I wanted a place that was more lively.
You don't look like a no elf to me.
Oh, I'm not.
And you see, when you say you're giving up on sleep a long time ago, there's a guy who's like nursing his ale. He sort of woke up, and I was like,
Oh no, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. In fact, if I can easily regale you with the basics of my story.
I have nothing better to do than to 10 bars, so regale away.
Well, when I was a young man, I was trained in the noble ways of negotiation and art and respected history of those things, but then I believe my family was viciously murdered, and I was supposed to be sent somewhere safe. That went wrong, and I almost died in the middle of a jungle on an island.
When you say viciously murder, you see like two other people are listening. Actually, like mouth was like.
Then how I almost died was drowning, and I was saved by a whale with the voice of a woman. And ever since then, I haven't needed to sleep.
The entire bar is dead silent.
Yeah, and, like he is also this is also someone coming in with an 18 charisma. Just giving this level of basic details of the story.
He's like, that's an interesting tale, sir. On account of you getting swallowed by a whale and not needing to sleep.
Yes.
I take it the whale spat you out.
It swam me back to the shore and then spat me out.
How convenient. For you, sir.
I was thinking the same, of course. But no, ever since then, I'm actually just happy to be back in civilization.
Yes, we're fairly civilized and can like the salts from the south.
It's true. By the way, do you know anything of the politics of Greyhawk modern day?
I don't visit long. I haven't been to Greyhawk since I was part of the army. Sorry to say.
Oh no, that is wonderful. No, I respect your service. I actually come from a background, family with a history of service themselves. So, thank you for what you do.
So fight the orcs, the goblin, the kobold. Well, we don't do a lot of kobold fighting around here anymore. On account that the little buggers are actually pretty.
What?
Oh, you haven't heard about that? Oh, you should ask you should ask Baron. The Baron Kicks. But before he was a Baron, you see, he arranged a thing between the dwarves and the kobolds so they could work the mines. So now the little buggers just help out. Pretty helpful. Pretty respectful too.
That is so surprising.
Right.
Well, I suppose
I'm surprised at it being swallowed by a whale. So yes, weirder things have happened.
it's true, but I suppose it would take someone with the face of a dragon to get kobolds to work with dwarves.
He mulls
Smart
that over
angle.
whether you're actually saying factly or you're actually insulting Kicks. Like,
if he's looking into it, it's more of like a questioning to see like if that was part of why it worked, or if it was just Kicks
he doesn't
being
know.
Kicks.
He's like, when you said it, like, is he insulting Kicks or is he actually?
Very interesting, multifaceted. Either way, I will let you know if anything looks like it's going to go down in your establishment overnight. I'm going to just chill here. probably have water have mingle between water and water and ale, but
We do close in a few hours, so I have to ask you to leave.
oh, that's perfectly fine. Of course, is there anywhere that's like a fountain, anywhere to sit down, anything like that?
There's a couple of, wells in town, so maybe a couple of seats outside. It's getting pretty cold outside, so I would
Oh,
caution you to
Cold doesn't bother me. It's not a problem.
right then. So yeah, same. But
All right.
Jimmy.
Well,
Jimmy, give me another ale. Right.
thank you for the lovely conversation. I will
Okay. Yes.
I will look around and see what I can find. And this is for you as well, and I'll shoot him a copper as well.
Thank you, sir.
Not a problem. And that night, while people are sleeping, I'll just find a spot to sit down, and I'll just lounge and watch and watch what happens in a small town.
Not
while,
much at night.
While kind of partially while reading and all these other things.
Because it is kind of wintry, right? Most people who work outside of town have sort of come in for the winter, right? So it's typical small town life in the winter. It's people are either sheltering most of the days in their own farms, or they move back into town.
Yeah.
And at night it's very, very quiet. You do see quite a bit of guards though.
Yeah.
But they don't seem less about patrolling the streets and more about patrolling the perimeter.
I mean,
Got
now
it.
this place has a map. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
picturing something far smaller in my head.
Yeah, same.
This is what this is what I was picturing, but I would still treat it the same as Marcus.
Oh,
But,
I think I was imagining something maybe an eighth of what this is.
This is a statue of town. Being one of the few places that it is, outside of the castles that have been to the south, fortified against attack.
Yeah, I don't think I remembered a wall either.
Oh, there were walls, yes.
I said I don't think I remembered one. I think I was thinking more of a hamlet or a thorp when I was imagining this place.
No, this is much bigger than that.
Well, obviously, it's got a map now.
but
It's
no,
got a map. We can kill it.
next
Got
morning,
lost in the streets.
bright and early, I would go and I would wake everybody up because we got to get going, and this place is boring. Nothing happens. There's nobody walking around at odd hours. That's not what I'm used to.
So, I guess what I would do is in the bar, I would play my little flute with my feet or whatever for a little bit, then go to sleep.
Whoa, keep it PG.
I did. That's why I used my feet.
Anyway, so yeah, you departed next morning. Kix, you do get a visit, or you actually get a visit. He comes to you because now you're a baron.
Ooh, okay.
Ellison Davin.
Oh yeah, I was meaning to talk with Davin. So
Yeah.
let's talk with Davin.
The Shire Reeve. And he says a couple of guards. It's like, oh, my lord, I heard that you were back in town, but came back rather late, so I did not want to disturb your sleep.
It's good to see you again anyway.
He sort of bows, and so do the guards. You guys all ready to shake hands? He is indeed.
Always ready.
Always ready.
Yep. Prepped.
And is anything in particular that we can be of service to you, my lord?
I'm just passing through town on my way to Greyhawk.
I see.
I hope everything's been well here in Narwhals. I haven't really been back for a good solid period of time here. I hope everything's been nice and quiet.
It has been. We haven't heard any more reports of strange creatures popping out of nowhere. No
Thank
portals.
goodness.
No portals or missing loggers. In fact, now that the elves are keeping a closer eye on the loggers around here, there's been less incidents. Well, everything has been relatively peaceful since the Stag Lord demise.
Right.
I
I suppose all the danger is up on the frontier now.
Such as it is, yes. But
good.
I heard that that's where you are now, sir. So I hope that you can handle it.
I should. I do need to continue to attending those duties. I've never really raised the entire militia before. I mean, you've had some experience here, at least with these men, and I'll just hand to the guards. And good work too. It's harder than I thought. I've had more experience just training myself.
Well, the bleeding has stopped now that the fortifications are of your fortifications out. The army doesn't believe that it has to take more white men to do whatever it is that they do with them. I think they just stack them like wood in a shed to whatever they need them. We need more men. Would you do something about it? She doesn't need more men. It's like, why? But please,
yes, just
don't.
grow a few more out of the ground real quick for that.
Yeah, please don't repeat my words.
Oh, I wouldn't think to.
I do have some correspondence, my lord, if you're of a mind.
Oh, I
since
certainly
you're
have the
going
time.
there, might reach the proper places quick. I mean, of course, if you're willing, would not like to impose. It's usually a courier's job, but perhaps coming
think
from
nothing of it.
you, it would certainly speed things along.
I still think of us as friends. I'm more than happy to help you in any way I can.
Oh,
As I
very well.
said, we're on the way there anyway. It's not like it'll hurt.
Oh.
But do you have 20 tons of mail to deliver?
Oh, no. I would not burden you with such a thing. Just a few things.
Exactly.
And
It should be no problem at all then.
he doesn't go, he sends for someone to fetch it. There's basically a couple of scrolls, basically. And they put them in a small bag, a messenger bag. And they don't even hand them to you. They hand them to one of your members of retinue. But it's like, because again, that's not something that the Baron should deal with. And he said, well, is Lale there?
I imagine he's in the same building.
Yeah, probably.
Because you're coming out. So you're all together, or you guys going to meet in one of the gates
We're
outside?
probably going to meet in a common area and then head out later, yeah.
But Lale, if you are there, you do recognize Ellison.
Ooh.
As an elf.
Oh, yeah.
And you do recognize him as someone who passed through your village many moons ago. You can make a history check.
Interesting. I did not expect this. Jeez, I have an 18.
You don't remember him being in such a high station back then. In fact, the last time you remember him was rather dirty, big drag old, and seemed to have been moving away from a difficult situation, deeper inside the Elven kingdom, right?
Uh-huh.
Not beaten up necessarily, but someone who was on the road for quite a bit some time. Many years later, you find him here, dressed as he is, with being the Shire Reeve. What happened between when you first saw him? I don't know if you actually spoke to him or not. I leave that entirely up to you. And here, but you do remember his face and wasn't such a high station as he is right now.
Here's a better question. Does he recognize me?
He does. But he has you can make an insight check on him.
Give me a second. I have a cat. Cat's in the way.
You can throw the cat there as well. Yeah.
Can the cat give me a +2?
Only in Pathfinder.
Ah.
He sort of looks at you in a sort of like you look familiar to him, but he sort of quickly passes you by and doesn't make any more remark about it.
I would probably say it seems the years have been kind to you, Master Davin.
Anyways, it's a fascinating hour. Yes. I haven't seen one of the devotees of Sangye for a very long time. I thought the place was well, It's no more.
Yes, it is. It has been destroyed. I have been nearby. Let's put it that way.
I see.
And I smile.
Well, we are always welcome in our town as long as you follow our laws, which I'm sure you will have no problem since you are with the Baron now.
Oh yes. I'm sure that will not be an issue whatsoever. Tell me. I must ask, how has the rest of your kin been?
Make another insight check.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. God damn it! Why do I suck at insight now? 13.
His face it's stern. Like he is putting up a front, like he doesn't want to show any emotion. Well, our kin, meaning the elves, as far as I understand them, are doing fairly well.
That is always good to hear. Then, I have not been with much contact for years since the destruction of the monasteries.
I've been very busy. Well, with my work here. Perhaps one day I will return to our homeland, but that day is neither today nor tomorrow.
I'm assuming we're also speaking in common in front of everybody right now.
Yeah, he's not talking in Elvish. He knows his protocol. He doesn't want to insult anybody by switching to Elf.
Yeah.
Um,
Just checking. Okay. All right. I know he's up to no good now, so that's all I needed.
and so he's like, Baron Kix, oh, excuse me. I thank you once again for the small favor of carrying these letters north. And
course.
if they do, I'm sure that you will feel free to, engage a courier to bring their responses back, and I will cover the cost.
Of course, of course. And I'll come say hello to you on our way back after our trip is done.
Thank you. If there's anything else you need of me, my lord, I will take
All
my
is
leave.
well.
Very well. And again, he
go ahead.
glances at Leo as he sort of bows, and then he turns around with his guards and leaves. Also, one thing, Leo, you realize that in this village, there are not a lot of elves. There are a lot of half elves, though. You would say about a third, maybe a fourth of the population are half elves.
That's actually a pretty large amount.
Yes, but no elves. Very, very rare elves within the walls of the cities.
All kids
You know,
to this
you're-
one
you're-
guy.
Except for this guy and maybe one or two other.
No, he's the one that made all the half elves. That's what we're saying. No.
He's the elven
He's got
half.
the lifespan. He's got the position of power.
You know, I actually, completely off topic, but I actually did a scenario once for a D&D game long ago that was that, basically, with like an evil like elf wizard.
Yes, we called it the town of Cucks.
That was not the name of the town, but I think I'll change it to that now.
Oh my god. The name of the adventure, actually. For adults only. It has a sticker from the third edition era. Adults only.
SR approved.
Yeah.
As we leave, I actually will say to Kix, how well do you know the Shire Reeve?
I'd say we've been friends for a good few years. I was adventuring up until last year, but prior to that, I did a brief assignment as a town guard whenever I wasn't smithing over at Firebeard's Forge. And since then, I've been going out in the forest and, well, I did a number of jobs for him. Used to call his go-to men the Headhunters. Some sort of local guild that used to be in town before it got wrapped up in the military.
Does that name ring a bell at all to Lale?
That would be history check.
Ah, crap.
The simmering anger in Gar.
14.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much of a guild as well of a impromptu organization that were sort of like scouts, and they're called headhunters because they would be bounty hunters and would be very proactive at chasing bandits and wayward orc bands and that sort of thing in this area.
And
And they were basically the for this region, the elite of the town. But as Kix explained, yeah, they were essentially seconded to the military.
I mean, not really.
Oh yes, the originals were. You were not.
Yeah.
You came after because the originals were seconded.
You were the B team.
Yeah.
You mentioned before that there's a lot of half elves in the village, not a lot of
Yes.
full-blooded elves. This is more of I guess like I'm not really super familiar with a lot of stuff in the Greyhawk version of D&D. Do elves leave their homeland a lot or no?
Their home outside of Selene, there are a lot of scattered elven holdouts in many forests in similar areas. And there's several areas where they're particularly in large cities like Greyhawk and out in the east. Let me see. I took a map. There is at least one country which has sort of an urbanized elven environment. It's a city, Verbubok.
Okay. And Selene is the nation that's like to the west, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right on the forest to the west. In fact, it's to look at the main map. It's over here, basically. Past these forest areas, that's where Selene starts.
Okay. All right. So basically, I guess in Lael's head, because it's kind of similar to him in some regards, the fact that there is an elf that is not in Selene that has a position of authority here is a little bit strange. And I would actually say to Kix, about 10 years ago, Davin was definitely not in this type of position. He has done very well, apparently.
Well, I'm always glad to see that he's in good spirits. He wasn't so much last year, I remember.
Oh, really?
Things seemed more dangerous then.
I think he's hiding something.
Well, it's up to him if he decides to share it.
There's one way of putting it.
I mean, he literally hired me to solve his problems before. I'm sure he would have no problem asking again.
I don't think it's problems that he wishes to be solved.
Well, then it sounds like everything's in order.
I just feel like I'm running into a brick wall every time Kix speaks.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. That's what makes Kix so lovable.
Oh, I thought it was just love for books.
Well, Lael will say then, perhaps maybe we should, when we finish our business in Greyhawk, we should speak with Davin again.
I think so. It'd be at least very nice to have a longer, pleasant chat with him, rather than just business.
I do agree with that.
Well, let's hope the barony isn't on fire by the time we come back.
Don't give the GM ideas.
I'll do it myself.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anything else?
No, I got nothing else unless I'm missing
Okay.
something, but I could be.
Okay. So we move north. It's going to take about the balance of 2 weeks, minus the day or so that took you to travel to Narwhal.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're going to make any other stops anywhere else. Basically, you arrive at the free city of Greyhawk, also known as the Jewel or the Flaness. By the shores of the Silentend River.
The only thing would have been during that trip, I would have tried to actually get to know the strange woman that showed up aggressively trying to take Barakat.
He basically blanks you.
She's mad
Right.
for a whole 2 weeks.
Yeah,
For
she
two.
is.
Jeez.
Yes. Yeah, she is hyper fixated on Barakat.
Man, you imagine knowing somebody like that?
Now I can't even think of one person.
But you do catch something.
Hell yeah.
When she tries to start to talk to Barakat, she originally she used the term her name Barakat, but she uses another name with it. One
what
that you
name?
notice clearly that Ephraim also responds to. Not that he's being called by that name, but rather that he, clearly knows the name as well. And every time she uses the name, you go like Barakat flinches. Like woman, don't call me that, kind of situation.
I hope it's a little bit more.
It's a little bit less,
Is there any inkling as to how old Barakat is?
early 20s.
That just based on sight alone?
Yeah, skin complexion, like development, all that, whatever.
Right.
Continued lack of confidence in self. Yeah,
Yeah.
early 20s.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to place it in context from the
Mhm.
"we made this promise when we were 14" comment.
Yeah.
So
Probably,
as we get the city in sight,
5 to 10 years ago somewhere.
I would just pull up beside Kix. Kix, may I ask for some funds while we are here? I
Oh, right.
was only sent with a brief daily allowance when I was sent to the jungle, so I have a very, very, very piddly 24 gold.
Right, that's not going to be quite enough to make your way in the city and get anything you need done. Here, and Kix will go ahead and count out 150 for you.
Thank you so much, and I think if everything goes right, I should be able to start the process of actually tapping into what should be left, or what should be rightfully mine.
Well, here's hoping that they welcome you back with open arms and not sudden shock and horror.
There will be some sudden shock and horror, but that's the point. Because if they thought my family dead, then that's who I need to speak with on a personal level.
Of course. Well, if you need me, you know where to find me. So I trust everything to go well.
Well, of course. What is everyone's plans here? Because I know first I must go to my tailor and see how they are doing.
Lessons. I think I might need you to remind me. We were coming here because specifically there were people we were going to meet with. And I kind of blanked a little bit
Kind of
myself.
feel like a bunch of us came here with all of our own different plans.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Legitimately, I think I'm the only one that has no reason to be here other than I'm part
Good,
of
you
the
can
party.
hang out with me.
Pandrin, of course, now has the looking forward for the concert, the arrangement of that. Someone else is looking for some more information about something that they're interested in.
It was already said out loud.
So nondescript. I wonder who it could be.
Yeah, and and someone wants to track about his family members and where they have been if they are still alive.
I also have somewhere I want to stop first before I do that, but this is one that I would have mentioned to not a single person. And that would be at the Wizards College.
Okay.
I want to see if I can track somebody down there.
Just watch out; they're still fighting.
You do know
sounds like
that
you want to find a diviner and those people.
you want to go
hard as
to.
fuck.
All diviners have left the city.
There's multiple colleges, and then there's the Wizards and the Wizards Guild.
Yes. So
colleges are there. Basically, they just teach, but the Wizards Guild requires that you are a member.
So I think I'll
a proven caster of
the arcane.
Of the arcane.
I would start with the colleges because last I knew, she was an apprentice and doing her studies.
Mhm.
And so I would know what college it would be.
Let's see, the colleges and universities of Greyhawk, because they're multiple.
But yeah, so I basically before I get change of clothes, I just want to make sure that this person, I want to see how they're doing before I actually handle official business and make a splash. Because I know as soon as I go to speak to the tailor, that the word is going to start to get out because they're a tailor for noble families. They gossip.
Also, the first
Yeah.
of many water-based word usages.
Because I have the city of Greyhawk. Let's see. Clerkbook, artisans, foreign quarter, I believe.
Marcus came to Greyhawk to make a splash.
Yeah, you have the Grey College
The Grey
Eh.
Pond,
and the Great Library of Greyhawk. The University of Magical Arts. If she's studying magic, that would be it.
100%.
So that's in Clerkburg, which is the middle class sort of administrative center of the city. It's a three-sided pyramid of the College of Magic. This university is often called the sheer sides and pointed down are visible for many miles in district, named from high locations of parts of the city. But the dramatist up there is one approach college, a street level. He faces a fused wall, one section triangular courtyard, since the gate is not here. One might turn to a corner and then the third wall, but there is no gate. Entry to the Wizard School, another common nickname of the city, is by invitation only. Apprentices are to begin their studies are whisked through the wall by the power of their teachers. Often they don't emerge again for 1 or 2 years. So again, you need to have literally an invitation to get in there. You might have connections with the city and pay some people perhaps to get a contact. I mean, people do come in and out.
Oh. Position of privilege, baby.
This is the pyramid I'm talking about here. If I believe correctly. No, actually, no, it's this one right here.
Yeah.
See on the clipboard. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So if anything, I just want to make it so I can speak to like one of the someone involved in the administration side, or like one of the teachers who would be in the know.
Well, yeah, but you still have to find them. So you probably have to. What would be the skill for this? Investigation.
Investigation.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is there a tavern that is close to the college?
Oh, many taverns.
In that
Many.
case, could I, instead of investigation, use persuasion and try and get info from a bartender?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh.
Great roll. And an
Yeah,
awful roll.
literally a 1 and a 20.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
it's-
have no reason to have advantage.
and the thing is, you have been years away from the city, right? And once the city is both familiar and also strange. By the way, reminder: everybody has to have their weapons, accessible weapons, to be peace bonded. Which I explained the last time. Basically, it means that you have a little tie, to the scabbard and the like.
It also probably doesn't help that at this moment, I do not look like what an expected noble would look like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got the big old facial scar, the mustache beard combo, the long hair. Like it's not well kept.
I mean, maybe it's the style, the rugged noble.
I look more like a woodsman than a noble at the moment.
Just get it trimmed.
That's actually one thing that he is not going to do, and he has a personal reason behind it. So, if there was any possible way I could maybe find a way to see if someone is still attending, I'm just trying to check in on someone, and I figured your establishment was close, and you may be able to help me out.
We supervise, sir. One does not meddle in the affairs of wizards, for they are dangerous and prone to anger. Tastes good with.
All right.
Those
Well,
are knights. Those are knights. Actually.
if that is how the conversation is to go, then thank you very much for your time. And with that, I will actually just find like a local messenger
Mhm.
and pay them to send a message to said individual
Okay.
that I want to catch up. I'm not dead. I was just missing. And then off to the tailor that my family used to use.
Well, when you walk into the tailor, actually the best tailor in town, you do know that this particular tailor is a loose-skinned tiefling.
Yep.
And he looks at you as like, what's your last name? Ollivander, right?
Yes, Ollivander.
Ollivander. Master Ollivander, it's been ages. Do come in. Do come in.
Yes, of course. No,
Sit, bring some drink and wine for the master. Like at once, sir. Somebody brings you a tray with cheeses and breads and tiny cups of wine. Like, do partake. Please sit. What can I do you for, sir? It's been a very long time.
Yes, no, it has, and my clothing is absolutely dreadful. It helped me out while I was where I was, and they replaced it with what you see. But, as you sure well know, I am actually here. I am not whatever rumors spread. I do not know what happened to mother and father, but my guess is that my sister is okay.
Lady Ollivander. Well, she doesn't go by that name anymore.
Oh, what name does she go by?
Matrice. And you know that name immediately. It was a house that was known to your family. Nobility, yes, but actually they were nobility from outside of Greyhawk that came into Greyhawk from during the Greyhawk Wars and as refugees. And the thing about it is that these types of nobles, such as they are, there's always a question mark about them because a lot of them were suspected to have bought their titles as opposed to, show proper heraldry. And the Matrices were one of these families. Nuevo Ricci. Nuevo Ricci.
Okay.
So these are not so much. Well, they
list.
could be Nouveau Rich, but they can also be genuine, displaced people from the war that still had wealth and were able to, trade it. So the problem is that their heraldry was either missing, incomplete, or destroyed. Yeah.
Well, that is very unfortunate to hear. I'll have to pay a visit to see what I can do about that. However, one, you would be the best person to know to say, tell me where to go to tell people I'm not dead, look at me roar. But if I'm going to do that, I need a proper outfit. And I think we need to update my measurements.
Very well, then stepped over here, sir. The changing
Of
room
course.
is right there, behind the curtain.
He started the process. He's like, oh, I have not had a changing room in over 5 years. I forgot about this. And then he'll go use it. All right. Well, what's the what's the general happenings? What do I need to be aware of in the city at the moment?
Well, there was a giant ruckus, literally, a gigantic monster nearly destroyed the entire city, struck in the summer during the games.
Okay.
Rumors of the Lord Mayor being in his final legs continue. And
Okay.
rumors are that he might not survive the year. Of course, they said that last year, and the year
And the
after
year
that,
before.
and et cetera, et cetera. And he has
He's
not
been
named a
for 10
not
years
named
now,
a replacement. So the council, the oligarchy, will have to choose a replacement. So there's a lot of political maneuvering around that, including from the guild, of course. The clerks guild is making moves to have a new set of titles be acknowledged for them, including esquire for their lawyers and barristers.
I love it.
And there was a scandal also at the exams for new barristers.
Oh.
Apparently, about 40%, I think, of the student body was found to have been tried to cheat in some way or another, and bribes and the like, which not that unusual. But yes,
That meant got caught.
yes, a lot of them got caught. Apparently, there was some kind of some of them got sold a cheap memory charm of some sort, which turned out to be, well, magical, but completely useless. Some kind of ring that changed color or something. And then apparently it was made out of rock candy or something. I'm not really sure.
That is wonderful. For this outfit, what do you recommend color-wise? Because I know before I did a lot of browns and such, but I'm thinking of blue.
Oh, it is winter time. White and blue, sadly.
Oh, in that
Snow-
case, that will be the
Snow should be
go-to.
coming around, well, at least for winter tide, so for Yule tide, so that means that you should be wearing the best. Of course, that also means that they're the kind of clothes that are not designed for the more rugged environments outside of the city. But I'm sure that
Oh, I will keep the clothes I came in here wearing. If I'm in a more rugged environment, I suppose I can slum it sometimes.
I hate to bring this up, so,
Of course.
but since your family has fallen from favor, have you visited your home, sir, or your former home?
You will not believe what I'm about to tell you. I have spent the last 5 years on a jungle in the middle of the ocean, barely getting by.
Well, I guess I'll spare you the shock, sir, because your home has been condemned.
What for?
Fire, sir.
I will have to give it a check after I reintroduce myself.
It hasn't been demolished yet, apparently because there's some legal wrangling on who the land and the remains of the edifice belongs to. With you being declared dead, well, things got complicated.
Of course they did. Well, that's enough. That's enough of that delicate conversation. I know that once I leave here with a lovely outfit.
Well,
That-
that's. I don't mean to insult you, sir, and we can certainly make it open a tap for you. But you do realize that,
Of course, how much?
It'll be well over excess of 100 gold for the finery that you want to have.
Okay, I'll pay
maybe
it.
the whole ensemble, not just. You know,
Okay,
just-
so how about for old time's sakes, we call it 100 gold, and then we keep good names in it. Good names being stated.
Of course, I apologize for suggesting other.
Oh no, you don't need to apologize. This is negotiations. I understand the city.
I will. There's some stilts as well, and he starts saying that he's going to scarves and maybe a jacket. Sort of try to apologize for intimating that you couldn't
Like,
afford it. Right?
And no, and as he goes into that, I'm like, hold on, no, you don't need to apologize. I don't know what kind of individual I was before. But no, this is logical conversation. I don't need the scarves and the jackets and all of that. I just need the solid outfit. I will pay the 100 gold up front, like is expected, and I will reinsert myself into the landscape as need be.
Very well, so yes.
Now, the one thing I was going to say was, I know that once I leave here, there's clearly going to be voices that hear, well, someone is back from the dead.
Yes.
I would ask nicely that you do your best to tell the tale as grand and entertaining as possible.
I am no bard, sir, but I will do my best.
You could have been in another lifetime.
Don't be fooled by the horn, sir. Not everybody has that kind of charm.
But that may be the case, but you're very good at what you do.
Thank you, sir.
Man, if only he knew a tiefling bard. Sucks to be him.
And yet
He only
he
knows
does.
He only knows a human bard, you know?
Well, no. Well, the tailor knows you're a tiefling bard.
Yeah, but, Marcus doesn't.
Also,
He only knows a bard.
Also, I don't think the tailor has any connection between Marcus and Barricade.
Yeah, I mean,
Just Marcus is him alone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess no.
So my next step would be to actually go find Lyle, and I want to go check out my family's manor with Lyle before I have to deal with red tape.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, yeah, I mean, you go up the high quarter, and which is over here, and yeah, basically there is a signs of basically the upper story burned down and collapsed on the first story.
Okay.
The ground floor, and the base, of course, is stone, so it hasn't completely collapsed. But nobody has tended to the outer gate, which is metal, so it's rusty. There are no guards. The garden, as it were, it's overgrown with grass. Well, actually, now it's turned brown, overgrown and brown because it's winter.
Yep.
Right. You can see something flittering around the base of the grass. Could be squirrels, could be rats, could be both, could be cats.
Yeah.
Could be all three. What's your perception, by the way?
My passive is 26 because of the level up.
Yeah, you're looking around and you swear you see very big eyes on top of a kind of long snout, scaly snout. They look at you, go eat, and beat it, and sort of run around the right side of the building and just run.
My one-armed friend, I just saw something looking at us from that point. And I'll point out where.
Okay.
Now, we can check this out. But there's going to be political stuff once I'm actually technically alive again. I figured what would hurt if I were to just check my house for things that might be still there.
I smile and I say, "You want me to look instead?"
Well, we both can. I just figured you'd enjoy this because the city's not your thing.
No, this is an interesting outing for sure. All right.
Why don't we start with seeing what was taking a look at us?
Sure. What do you want me to do?
You go around one side, I go around the other.
All right. I speed off to the left side then.
You have to climb over the wall too, which for you is no problem. It's just a point.
Yeah.
It's literally jump.
It's even better now. I can run up walls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just go up the wall.
Both of you. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna roll this. Okay, as you're starting to roll, you see that there are city guard coming down. This area is well patrolled, right? In fact, you got here because you were able to invoke not Barakat, but Kix's name. has
Yep.
a barrier. Otherwise, you will not be allowed to go into this court. All right, this is the exclusive court of the city. And you see about 4 guards that are sort of coming down the road toward your direction.
Is
What
it
do you do?
is it dark? Is it like shadowy here and dark and all that stuff?
It's daylight. You might find some. I mean, you can try to jump into the shadows of the grass, the tall grass, brown grass.
Hmm.
Can I bring us around the corner to what would be the servants' entrance when the house was active?
Again, you're outside of the outer wall on the street.
No,
There's
so
an outer wall.
no, so like that's what I mean. So like, there's the outer wall.
Uh-huh.
Could I bring us to what would be how the help gets in and out, or used to get in and out? Because
Yeah, you can go
Yeah.
to one of the back alleys, side alleys, service
Yeah.
entrances.
That's dark enough as well. I'll go.
Yeah. And the guards, I don't know, the guards don't spot you, but you know that they're a lot of patrol, so, And it
All
wouldn't
right.
do well to introduce yourself to the city as a prisoner.
it's
of
true.
The city watch.
Well, do you have the means of dealing with this door, or do I need to do something to buff it down?
How does the door look?
Rusty, the hinge is rusty, and the wood is warped and swollen from the humidity.
All right, so it looks like if I just like flick it, it might like break down.
Yeah.
Would
Would be noisy. I warn you, it would be noisy.
That was my next question. So then I
Yeah.
guess it's an actual door, like you can't see on the other side, right?
No.
Okay. What I guess then would be a check to like open this door gently.
That would be lockpicking the door.
Ooh. I don't have a lockpick, unfortunately, because that's not my skills.
Can't you cast silence with key points?
Actually, yes. Hold on a second. Oh, you gave me an idea. So I will actually do that. I'll use a key point for the silence around the area, and then I will just punch the door.
The door opens, splinters. It would be a tremendous scratch, enough for the silence, right? In fact, sort of falls. The half that you kicked in not only opens but also falls out of the hinge. One of the hinges. Well, it would be but there's no sound. So it's like
And I
Make sure to take it off the hinges too, so it's not going to continue to make that noise.
yeah, I would assume like at this point like it's like all getting off on there, so I would just like make sure that it is carefully removed from that area and gently put down onto the ground without any noise being made.
All
And I
right.
guess we can go inside now.
Yeah.
Again, you see that what happened is that the upper floors, which were wood, second story, something or someone set it on fire, and that collapsed into the first story. But again, you can see that the base of the building is in stone, so it didn't completely collapse. So you go around, and again, with you also have a high perception, right? Passive perception.
Well, he does. Mine is a little bit weaker.
Yeah, you notice that in the grass, they are, they're reptilian, small reptilian, like chicken, slightly bigger than a chicken, but in the same shape, similar shape, footsteps that go to what would have been an entrance or a basement, like the double doors for a basement. Those doors are closed and locked.
Do kobold typically have feet that would fit that?
Well, that would be a would be a nature roll.
I have no idea.
You
Very,
want
very
me-
big chicken, basically.
I got a 15.
Yeah, you traveled with a kobold for a long time, so yes, this very much fits in kobold tracks.
I actually, with my good arm, I stop Marcus for a second, and I say, "We're not alone in here."
What do you think they are?
I believe they're kobolds.
All right, noted. That should not be that big of a problem. I will start with the house if that's the case. If you want to start with the cellar or any really whatever point, just looking for anything overtly valuable, anything small that could be taken, that might be something that would be noticed and disputed over, if it were.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Was there anything in particular that my parents would have had that I think may have slipped under the radar?
Jewelry, perhaps? Clothing? But clothing would have been consumed by fire, so...
Mostly jewelry would be the points. Also, we were a noble family, and my father was military, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was hidden compartments in the stone or other small little weird things that he did to protect his assets.